Khal Drogo is absolutely massive, but he practically should. Wait, what? Yes, Jason Momoa has the perfect physique for portraying Khal Drogo, the leader of the DoThraki in Game of Thrones. Today I want to show you why a massive physique as a leader of the DoThraki was so important and why Khal Drogo is awesome. Drogo was born and raised in the DoThraki horde. By the way, Khal means leader, so he's the leader, Drogo. The DoThraki live by the rules of survival of the fittest. They will abandon a sick or injured leader who can no longer ride a horse. A lot of the disputes get violent quickly. They love to fight. Once the DoThraki lost the fight, he needs to cut his hair. And look how long the hair of Khal Drogo is. Khal Drogo is the ideal leader of the DoThraki horde, not only because he is a dangerous fighter, but because he wins most of the fights by simply intimidating his opponents. Khal Drogo is tall, tattooed, and has tremendous amounts of muscles. These are huge signs of dominance and physical superiority. As a rival of Khal Drogo within the DoThraki horde, you would think about it 3 times before you would be attacking Khal Drogo, because the chance of you dying are simply too high. Now think about it, if Khal Drogo would be this really small dude with no muscles but immense fighting abilities. Yes, he might win all the fights, but the chance of him dying from a lucky hit are tremendously high after hundreds of unnecessary fights. Just look at this scene when Khal is facing Margo. Margo disrespected the Khaleesi, aka the wife of Khal Drogo. This means death for either Khal or Margo. This scene is amazing as you can see how Khal Drogo starts the fight. First, the Khal Drogo supporter wants to rush in and kill Margo, but Khal Drogo declines their support. This might seem like a stupid decision because Khal Drogo is putting himself at risk for dying, but it's actually pretty smart. Not considering the long-term effect in this example, of course. Khal Drogo knows that the DoThraki follow the strongest. Drogo is using Margo to set an example, to show his supporters that he's the strongest in the tribe and therefore a valid leader. This will minimize future fights over the crown. This is the same thing Negan did in Walking Dead, brutally killing 2 members of the opposite clan to set an example, to minimize further attacks and resistance. Back to Drogo. Drogo uses similar tactics to defend his own crown. Drogo doesn't start a fight by rushing into his opponent with a freaking sword, but by breaking him mentally. The DoThraki are pretty religious people. Khal knows that and immediately starts threatening him by not burning his body after he killed him. Notice how Khal doesn't threaten Margo with killing him, but instead he tells him the one thing which every DoThraki is afraid of: not being able to ride with his ancestors after they die. I think Khal Drogo didn't expect Margo to even put the sword on his chest in the first place, but he seems pretty fine with it afterwards. Khal keeps trying to break Margo mentally, not using any of his weapons to set an example to his tribe. Until the crucial moment comes when Margo says, "First you have to kill me," and Khal responds with, "I already have." Intimidation due to his physical and psychological components made Khal Drogo able to stay in this highly competitive and dangerous leadership position for a long time. His muscles are crucial in increasing the force when throwing a deadly blow when facing his opponents, or defending his body from a would-be deadly blow. But the reason Khal Drogo is so massive is because of the intimidation aspect of his muscles. I've seen the same effect in my personal life. Once I've gained a decent amount of muscles, I would rarely get provoked by males that are looking for a random fight. Having muscles shows your opponent that you're capable of defending and attacking with greater force. And this doesn't matter how tall you are. But the reason behind Khal Drogo's muscles are probably genetics. Just from horse riding and fighting you don't get massive. Look at Fedor Emelianenko, one of the best MMA fighters in this world. He doesn't look as muscular as Khal. This is David Cameron, horse stunt rider of the Pirates of the Caribbean film and Olympic athlete. Muscular? No. I don't think the Khal Drogo was secretly working out in the back of his tent, so the reason must be genetics. If Khal Drogo would have been born without the capability to build muscles to that extent, he probably would not have been able to call himself the Khal Drogo or even survive until that stage.